Donald Trump actually has no plan for you?
My plan is a brilliant plan. It's a great plan. They had the highest inflation perhaps in the history of our country.
The Trump administration resulted in a trade deficit, one of the highest we've ever seen in the history of America.
She's a Marxist. Everybody knows she's a Marxist. She has destroyed our country. The Democrats are radical.
As I said, you're going to hear a bunch of lies.
They said they're going to get student loans terminated, and it ended up being a total catastrophe.
He'd prefer to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem. He talks about fictional characters like Hannibal Lecter. He will talk about windmills cause cancer. And what you will also notice is that people start leaving his rallies early out of exhaustion and boredom.
People don't go to her rallies. There's no reason to go. And the people that do go, she's bussing them in and paying them to be there. And if she becomes president, this country doesn't have a chance of success.
You talk about extreme.
They didn't fire any of their economists. They have the same people. That's a good way not to have books written about you. Their number of 818,000 jobs that they said they created turned out to be a fraud.
I think this is so rich, coming from someone who has been prosecuted.
Every one of those cases was started by them against their political opponent. And I'm winning most of them, and I will win the rest on appeal. They weaponized the Justice Department.
Understand, this is someone who has openly said he would terminate, I'm quoting, terminate the Constitution of the United States.
This is the one that weaponized, not me. She weaponized. I probably took a bullet to the head because of the things that they say about me. See, they're the threat to democracy. She gave up at least 12 and probably 14 or 15 different policies. She wants to do transgender operations on illegal aliens that are in prison.
The former president has been indicted and impeached. Donald Trump, the candidate, has said in this election there will be a bloodbath if this and the outcome of this election is not to his liking.
They have destroyed our energy business. That's just been so bad. It's so ridiculous. Our elections are bad. As we have a nation in decline, and they have put it into decline.
Donald Trump was fired by 81 million people. So let's be clear about that. World leaders are laughing at Donald Trump. They say you're a disgrace. We do not have in the candidate to my right the temperament or the ability to not be confused about fact.
You need Trump back as president. If I were president, Russia would have never, ever have gone into Ukraine. She hates Israel. She hates the Arab population because the whole place is going to get blown up. Arabs, Jewish people, Israel will be gone. I'll get the war with Ukraine and Russia ended before even becoming president.
He's trying to, again, divide and distract. Donald Trump is weak and wrong. He admires dictators. It is well known he exchanged love letters with Kim Jong-un. You are a disgrace.
They respect me. They don't respect Biden. How would you respect him? Why? For what reason? Our country has gone to hell. Where is our president? We don't even know if he's a president.
And just to clarify
they threw him out of a campaign like a dog. We don't even know. Is he our president? We have a president,
Mr. President,
that doesn't know he's alive.
And why don't you tell the 800,000 Polish Americans right here in Pennsylvania how quickly you would give up for the sake of favor and what you think is a friendship with what is known to be a dictator who would eat you for lunch.
They sent her to negotiate peace before this war started. 3 days later, he went in and he started the war. She is a horrible negotiator.
I said it at the beginning of this debate, you're going to hear a bunch of lies coming from this fellow. Donald Trump, when he was president, negotiated one of the weakest deals you can imagine. He negotiated directly with a terrorist organization called the Taliban.
I told Abdul, don't do it anymore. You do it anymore, you're going to have problems. These people did the worst withdrawal and, in my opinion, the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. And by the way, that's why Russia attacked Ukraine, because they saw how incompetent she and her boss are.
He refused to rent property to black families. Let's remember, this is the same individual calling for the execution of 5 young black and Latino boys who were innocent, the Central Park 5. This is the same individual who spread birther lies about the first black president of the United States. And I think the American people want better than that, want better than this. A conversation that is constantly about belittling and name-calling. We're not taking anybody's guns away, so stop with the continuous lying about this stuff. When Donald Trump was president, 60 times he tried to get rid of the Affordable Care Act.
She won't improve private insurance for people, private medical insurance.
The former president had said the climate change is a hoax. Donald Trump said he was going to create manufacturing jobs. He lost manufacturing jobs.
This is a crooked administration, and they're selling our country down the tubes. The worst vice president in the history of our country.